Hi everyone, March is here. Welcome to the channel, and today we will be comparing two new sneakers that are out now in the market and two amazing basketball sneakers to hoop in. So let's find out which one is better for you. Let's go. Guys, if you want to buy one of these sneakers, I'll be putting the link down in the description below on where to buy it. Let's start off first with the uppers of these two sneakers. Of course, on my left is the Zion one, and on my right is a Zoom GT Cut from Nike. This is from Jordan brand. Let's talk about the uppers first. On the GT Cut, it features this net-like material that is kind of soft. It's not too fused, but it is fused around the high-wear parts, which is on the lateral part of the forefoot and of course around the heel part. While on the materials on the Zion ones is made out of this screen mesh, which is very fused, plus some ripstop panels and some fusing on the forefoot, and the letter Z on the midfoot is also fused. Both mesh, even though they are kind of screen or like a net, they are still very soft, very easy to break in. But the main difference is the quality. The GT Cut's net mesh is really premium. It's very soft. It has a very thin underlying material. Ventilation is good on the upper of the GT Cut. And comparing it to the Zion, which is also very well ventilated, very thin, very minimal upper, and it's very durable too, but it is less premium compared to the GT. Plus the comfort level around your foot. The GT Cut feels better on your feet because of the underlining material is like fabric, while the underlining material on the Zions is more of a rough textile. So comfort-wise, the GT Cut is better compared to the Zions. But in terms of support and durability of the upper, I would say they're pretty much equal because the Zions also has fusing around the toe area and even on the lateral part. So it gives durability to the forefoot. Well, like I've said on the GT Cut, it's fused on the high wear area. So it's fused here. So it's very durable. Plus this padded mesh around the forefoot also gives you extra durability. One thing that's really different between the forefoot area of these two sneakers are the shape, because the Zion ones has a lot more toe space comparing it to the GT Cut. So if you want a very snug fit around the forefoot area, of course the GT Cut is for you, and if you are a narrow footer or a regular footer, you would prefer the GT Cut more, while the Zion ones, I think, is more towards wide footers and those who have thick foot. You will like the Zion ones because there's excess space above the forefoot of the sneaker. Another thing to touch up on the support on the forefoot, the Zions has these straps that really pulls your foot down to the footbed, while on the GT Cut, even though it doesn't have wings, it's really snug. Once you tighten the sneaker, it will surely pull your foot down to the footbed. So I would say support-wise, relatively the same. And of course, this extra plate here on the GT Cut gives you the lateral support that you need. This one I think will surprise you, given that the Zion ones you would think will be more supportive compared to the GT Cut because Zion is wearing this. But this GT Cut, if you have a narrow or regular foot, the support that you'll be getting from the GT Cut is a little bit better compared to the Zions. Yes, you heard me right. The support of the GT Cut is better compared to the Zions, which is also very good. As for the mid part of these two sneakers, both have traditional lacing system. Of course, the GT Cut has a more premium laces, which is a little bit rounded, while on the Zion, it has a flat lace. Looking at the tongue on both sneakers, they look pretty much the same, but once you hold it, you would see that the GT Cut has a little bit more padding and has a more premium feel to it because the Zion at the back is kind of like this felt material compared to the GT Cut, which feels like more on the neoprene material. So it's really comfortable around your foot. But don't worry, the Zion is still comfortable, but not as comfy as the ones that you will be feeling on the GT Cut. Now let's move on to the heel part of the two sneakers. Achilles pillows on both are very, very nice. And of course, Zion is a mid-cut sneaker, while the GT Cut is a low-cut sneaker. As for heel containment lockdown, even though the GT Cut is a low-cut sneaker, for me, it has a better lockdown compared to the Zions because there's a little bit more space on the Zions compared to the GT Cut, while the GT Cut is really, really snug and it really holds your foot down to the footbed and your foot won't be moving anywhere But in terms of ankle protection, the Zions will give you extra ankle protection since it's a mid-top sneaker compared to the GT Cut, which is a low-top sneaker. Both sneakers also have foam coming up for extra heel containment. Both also have internal heel TPU plate for heel containment and lockdown. Now let's move on to the cushion part of these two sneakers, where this is the highlights of this two sneaker. The GT Cut drop-in React midsole, and at the bottom there's a full-length Zoom Strobel, while on the Zions it has a full-length Air Strobel with a 4-foot Zoom that is rectangular shape like this size, and a Phylon foam as a carrier cushion. The main difference between these two cushion setup, if you want lower to the ground feel and you want to feel impact protection, then a very nice bounce afterwards, the GT Cut will give you that. But if you want maximum impact protection, at the same time a thicker foam and still very responsive, because not everyone likes a very low to the ground feel cushion, the Zion one will give you that. But both sneakers cushion setup is awesome. You'll never go wrong with both. It's just a matter of preference. But for me, I prefer a low to the ground feel, but still is giving me bounciness and impact protection. For me, I would lean more on the GT Cut, but that's just my style of play compared to the Zion. But the Zion's cushion setup is still pretty good. Like I said, both sneakers are very responsive, but the GT Cut is extra responsive since it is lower to the ground. Another thing that helps out in the responsiveness of the sneaker is, of course, the traction. The traction of the GT Cut is top-notch. I'm very impressed with the traction of the GT Cut, and comparing it with the Zions. Although the Zions traction is still good, but it doesn't bite as hard as the ones on the GT Cut. And the GT Cut also squeaks more compared to the Zions. Plus the Zions picks up dust quicker compared to the Cut. So I would say traction-wise, I would lean more towards a GT Cut. And as for outdoor use, both have very hard rubber material. Outdoor use is safe for both, but in terms of price point, I don't think a lot of you would hoop with a very expensive sneaker always outdoors. So the Zion is a more favorable option to play with outdoors since it's less expensive compared to the GT Cut. The Zions are priced at 6,500 pesos, while the GT Cut is 8,900 pesos. So that's almost 3,000 pesos difference, or $60 difference. So if you're always playing outdoors, I would recommend the Zions over the GT Cut. Plus the Zion will also give you maximum impact protection for outdoor use. As for the width of the outsole, of course the Zion will win in the 4-foot. Look how protruding that lateral outrigger is on the Zions. So it's very, very stable in the 4-foot for the Zions. But the GT Cut, given that it's a very low profile sneaker, so also it's a very stable sneaker. And as for the heel part, you would see that the GT Cut is a little bit wider compared to the Zion. Stability wise, I think they're pretty much the same. And as for the heel to toe transition, of course, for the decoupled outsole and a very nice curve from the 4-foot to the heel, you can see the Zions going up a little bit more. The Zions is a little bit better compared to the GT Cut. So if you're someone who likes to run up and down the court a lot, the Zions for you. But if you are a shiftier guard who likes to cut more, of course, hence the name, go with the GT Cut. As for the sizing of both sneakers, like I've said, regular footers true to size on both, but wide footers half size up on the Zions, while on the GT Cut, maybe you'll go half to full size because on how snug the GT Cut is. As for the weight of the two sneakers, Zion is 400 grams. GT Cut is heavier by 80 grams. This is 480. So if you want a lighter sneaker, Zion's for you. But for me, you wouldn't mind the weight of the GT Cut because of how nice the fit of the GT Cut is. So that's it on my comparison between the Zion ones and the GT Cut. Let me know which sneaker you would choose and which is a better looking sneaker for you. Hit me a comment down below. This has been Marches once again. Thank you for dropping by. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.